Hey guys, hope you're having a good week. This is Justin here, and I'm recording this on a Wednesday, but you'll probably see it in a few days. I try to have a little bit of a buffer for videos, just have some in the pipeline. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about case cutlery because I feel like they don't really get a lot of attention in the everyday community, which doesn't mean they don't have a very loyal following. They do, but it seems to be more confined to the case specific groups or communities, if that makes sense. It doesn't really seem to bleed over into the everyday community per se. Like, like on Facebook, if you have big knife groups, you don't typically see a lot of people post case knives, and I've never quite understood why. I guess on the same token, you don't see a lot of traditionals in general, like Great Eastern Cutlery. I know those seem to be a little more prevalent in the everyday community, but most of the ones that I see anyway are more of the modern traditional pocket knives. So like the Pena knives, some of the MKM stuff with M390. I think Lion Steel does some modern traditional knives, but the ones that are classically traditional, like Case, Great Eastern Cutlery, don't seem to get a lot of attention. So I wanted to highlight Case specifically as a brand because they've been a special knife brand to me for a long time now, probably 2 decades. And the reason is I found out about them when I was younger. So I've always liked knives. I've always been interested in them, and I've always wanted to have knives. Of course, my parents wouldn't let me when I was younger because they can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. But I remember one Christmas, probably 20 years ago or more now, my parents got me a red bone handled case knife, it was the same pattern as this, which is called a trapper. So you can see you have like this, I think they call it a drop point blade. If I'm wrong on any of these, just correct me. No, I think this is called a spay blade. So it was the same pattern, but the handle scales were red bone instead of carbon fiber, which they are on here. And I thought it was just the greatest thing in the world. Like, I never wanted to use it, didn't even really want to touch it. I just kept it in the box, kept it nice and safe, and I just love the thing. I still have it. But yeah, so that sort of got me onto the case knives train, I guess. I don't know a better term for it. So yeah, they were one of my first, I guess, quote unquote, expensive knives. And I think those trappers in the bone, they used to run around $60. And I just thought that was a crazy amount of money for a knife. Of course, being in, I don't know, middle school or whatever, that is a large amount of money. But anyway, fast forward, so into adulthood, I never lost my interest in case knives, especially as I got more into the hobby, like as I had more money, stuff like that. I sort of came back and started to appreciate the depth and the breadth of their number of designs and materials and just everything about the brand. And I actually had the opportunity to visit their headquarters in Pennsylvania a few years ago. I picked up a couple of knives from their company store, which this is one of them. So this is one of their Halloween knives. This is from 4 or 5 years ago now. You can see the blade says Happy Halloween, and it's a serrated blade, which is typically reserved for their Halloween knives. And then you can see it has the case logo there with a hat and a cat, and I think this is bone. I think it's orange bone. So you can see it's on both sides there. But yeah, so I picked this one up, and I picked another one up, maybe a Hunter or something. I can't remember what it's called. So yeah, it was really cool to be able to visit their location. And I've sort of just accumulated more and more as the years have gone by. This carbon fiber one I picked up maybe 4 years ago now, and again, I got this bone teardrop, they call it, at the company store, and then this canoe I bought, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I'm just at a local retailer, and it's called the Canoe because of the shape of the handle. So you can see here, it kind of looks like a canoe. And you just have the case crest right there. They tend to change this. I don't know if they do it every year, but it does. It will vary by year. You can see the crest on that one versus this one is just a circular or an oval style versus this guy. I don't know what this pattern's called, but the blade is a Wharncliffe style. You can see it there. You can see the crest is also even a different shape on this one. I don't remember what the scales on this one are, but this one probably, in terms of appearance, is probably my favorite case that I have. You can see the scales are just beautiful. And again, I wish I could remember what the material is, but I just can't right now. And I think I tossed all the boxes for these, so yeah, probably shouldn't have done that. But this one's one of my favorites for sure. So yeah, so Case is a brand. They operate, pretty much as like a traditional knife company. They'll do different patterns, and they'll make them for a little while. Patterns is in like styles of knives. They'll make them for a little while, and then they'll stop making them, for a while or forever, and then they'll bring them back in some cases. So like this pattern, I don't think this is one they make all the time with like the Wharncliffe blade and this handle shape. Whereas some patterns like the Trapper, which is this guy here, they'll make these pretty much consistently. So like if you ever want a Trapper that has these two blades, then you can pretty much always get those. So there's certain ones that just stay in their lineup all the time. Like they'll always have a Trapper. They'll always have like the Whittler style knives with 3 blades, I think. If I'm wrong, correct me on that in the comments. And then the Canoe is normally a pretty consistent pattern as well. So yeah, I wouldn't really call them drops. They're almost like, they're more like Spyderco, I don't know, limited runs, I guess. They'll produce them for a while and then they'll quit. So yeah, I just sort of keep an eye out for what's out there, and if I really like something, I'll pick it up because I know that there's a good chance that it won't be made again for a while or ever. So that's why I picked this guy up. And then purple is my favorite color, so that's, these two kind of play into that. In terms of fit and finish, these don't hold up to Great Eastern Cutlery. I'll admit that right now. Centering is not always the best. As you can see here, this spay blade is sort of off to the left. I don't know if the Canoe shows it or not. So yeah, their centering is not always the best. Sometimes the blades kind of rub against each other. I think this one's got some marks on this side from where, yeah, you can see it there, from where it rubbed up against this one, or I think it was against that blade. So you can kind of see the mark up there toward the top. So they'll have things like that. Their scales don't always match up to the bolsters, maybe as smoothly as you would like. So like this one, I can feel a little bit of a seam there. These sides are pretty good. But yeah, sometimes you'll see case knives with scales that just, they don't line up, or they're not flush or something like that. I don't know how this one looks, but yeah, this one looks pretty good. It's pretty smooth. You can feel a little bit of a raised edge there. Yeah. So, but the trade-off is, whereas Great Eastern Cutlery knives, a Trapper style from them might be $120, $130. The case version is only maybe 60 or 70 bucks. So you're looking at about half the price. So yeah, you might not have as high quality fit and finish on these, but at the same time, you're not going to pay nearly as much. And I've always appreciated that. I don't really get into paying, I don't know, hundreds of dollars for a traditional knife. And it's probably because I've always been sort of a case guy, and I know that I can get these knives that function just fine, that may not be the highest quality, but you know, will ride my pocket just fine, will cut open boxes just fine, and all that stuff. The one other thing I wanted to mention is sometimes the edges have burrs left on them from the sharpening process. I've seen that before. They've always been sharp, but yeah, sometimes they'll have burrs left over. So you're running into that sometimes. But again, you know, considering the price, pretty good deal. And these are all made in the United States. I think they're all made in Bradford, Pennsylvania, which is where their headquarters is located. So that's pretty cool. The company's been around over 100 years, I believe. So it has a lot of history. And they're actually owned by Zippo Lighters. Currently, they bought them a while back. So yeah, I guess I don't really have that much more to say about them. I mean, they have a ton of different designs and patterns and handle materials. You can see here the spread from like bone to, this is like some resin or something, I think, to carbon fiber. I mean, they do more modern materials. Steel wise, typically they've always done either carbon steel or stainless steel, and they don't tell you what the stainless steel is. Seems to be pretty decent. It takes a good edge, but the edge doesn't last super long. It's not like a super steel or anything, but it's okay. I mean, for everyday tasks. They have started dabbling into the more mainstream knife market recently. I think it's called the Manila, something like that. It's a flipper knife that they came out with a couple of years ago. So they're starting to dabble into more of the mainstream market. I haven't picked one of those up yet, but I probably will here soon. So yeah, but you know, their bread and butter are these traditional knives. They have a collector's club you can join. They do Halloween knives every year, which is cool. So yeah, if you haven't checked Case out, be sure to check them out. Go on their website, go on Knife Center or wherever, and just see what's available. Just kind of see the different styles and stuff. You know, and order one if you like the way it looks. Because if there's ever something that's not good quality, that is unsafe, or I don't know, if you get one that's really messed up in some way, they have a great warranty on all their knives. So like, even if you get one that maybe has a burr left after sharpening, they would fix that for you. Just contact them. So yeah, they have a really good warranty as well. But anyway, if you have any comments or questions about Case knives, drop them below. I'll probably do some more videos on specific knives just to sort of show some more of what Case can offer. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please do. There'll be plenty more videos. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and have a good rest of the week. We'll talk to you later.